All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and part 2 of the Yena version of the very first Mastering Hero series on this channel. Last Tuesday, I set a baseline game of Yena gameplay. I've played about 4 or 5 games with her prior to that and hadn't really figured out a lot of her combos or anything like that. So I set a baseline last Tuesday. This is a week's worth of practice that you're about to watch now. If you want to critique my gameplay and give me some more tips, feel free to watch last week's versus this week's. I'm going to put a card to last week's up on the screen and just kind of see how I was able to improve over, 20 games, 30 games or so of practice in a week's time. I feel like I did do some improvements. I wasn't setting any records by any means, or this is not pro gameplay, overpowering the enemy or anything like that. I'm still very green, but I think you'll find this interesting to watch nonetheless. One thing that I did learn was the correct ability to purchase first. In my previous game, I purchased the movement ability first, and in this game, I learned that the slowdown is actually the better ability. Yena's passive is a stacking ability on an enemy hero, and when she reaches 5 stacks on the enemy, that enemy is silenced. It slows them down to a certain extent, reduces their damage, increases the damage taken, and every spin of her dual blades in this S2 of this one is actually a stack. So if you look here on Omen, when he gets in there, when he walks away, see he's already got 3 stacks on him. So if I'm going to hit this, see he's in my blades and he's silenced there. And I'm doing some pretty good damage to him. So that's actually the first thing to learn. The second thing to learn when you're playing Yena is once you get to level 4, you want to switch back and forth between her dual blade and single blade abilities as regularly as possible. Whenever she switches between forms, she has, I think, up to 5 seconds of additional damage, and all of her cooldowns reset. So when I'm kind of rushed trying to get to level 4, she really doesn't do much until level 4, and as you can see, Raz keeps coming down and pestering me. He kind of does that the whole game, and so we're just trying to not feed. We're trying to deal with Omen as best we can and get to level 4. So here I do a bad dash and kind of got out of position, and Omen is actually pretty low. I dashed in just to see if I could do anything. I knew if you hit an enemy whenever you're doing your dash, you get a second one. So I knew I could dash in, test him out a little bit, and dash back out without too much trouble. So I'm just trying to keep him from recalling and keep him from getting his minions. These lane minions actually have a ton of XP and a ton of gold. And so if you can push your enemy off of his base, make him recall, and clear the lanes and let the tower kill the minions, then nobody gets that XP. And you get that level lead. So that's, as a DS laner, that's kind of your main goal in the early game, is to just do enough annoying damage to force your enemy. See, here's another deal. I had him right here. Maybe that wasn't it. I'll have to look again. One of these times I almost had him and I flickered the other direction. It might have passed already, and I was really ticked off about it because if I'd have just paid a little bit of attention, I'd have had him. Now this one, I saw Raz coming in just as I was moving my abilities. I was just flipping over to my single blade, my more tanky build, and I saw Raz out of the corner of my eye. And as soon as you switch to that, you don't have a lot of movement, and I knew I was stuck. I was not getting out of that. So unfortunately, that was a bad move. I got stuck in my in the wrong form and I couldn't get out of that, and Raz came through and killed me. But so far, you know, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I'm not going after the Sightbird because I'm not sure where Omen's at, and I don't want him to try to come to steal it. So I'm just working on getting this lane cleared and getting those minions pushed in, letting the tower kill them so that nobody gets that XP. I don't want Omen getting that lane XP. But as you can see, I switched over to used my ulti and was able to switch my abilities, clear the lane a lot quicker. You throw the S2 in, dash again, switch your abilities. And see there, I switched back to my movement abilities and was able to get out of that double team. So I feel like I'm moving pretty good. Ormar's in, Yan is in, Omen is still here. So I've got a little bit of trouble. Omen's trying to bait me to come out. He knows Yan is nearby. Ormar and Yan are back in the mid though. So now, I didn't really see. I thought maybe someone was still in that bush. So in the heat of the moment, I didn't see that someone was there. But you see how I backed out and threw that S2? So make sure that it lined up on the on that tank a little bit more. That's real important. It does quite a bit of damage and it slows everything out. So if you can get that to aim in the right spot, you're a lot better off. Here's another instance. Maybe not. I feel like I overextend here somewhere along the line and get myself killed again. But not at the moment. So your S2, when you throw that out, your S2, when you go collect them, it reduces the cooldown of S2 by half. By 5 seconds, I think it is. So the combo, you throw the S2 out, you do S1, do an auto attack. Yeah, see, I overextend here and got myself killed. Oh, and that one, if you go back and watch, I really thought that the lane minions would take that tower out quicker. I thought that if the tower died, I would be able to survive that, and they just didn't kill it as quick as I wanted and ended up sacrificing my life. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad timing, bad decision. But we got the lane anyway, got the tower down. Now we're going to go back to mid and try to help push because Ignis is in our lane. So S2, S1, auto attack, collect your shuriken or collect your dual blades. S1 again, then you can hit your ult and then do your S2 again. And your S2 is 3 hits and a knock up at the end. And if you can time it right, the real move is to S2, S1 auto attack, S1 auto attack, and in all that you pick up your S2 dual blades, and then you throw them again, and then you ult. And if you throw them right direction, ult and hit S2, and pick them up while you're hitting S2, you get a cooldown on that ability. So then you can chain combo those together. Here I dive in a little bit. I do get 1 kill with my S1 and my single blade form. And see, I'm bouncing back and forth between dual blade and single blade. Got a lot of good movement speed in my dual blade form. And so I'm able to kind of bounce between lanes, be a pest, keep that DS lane pushing. We're having a good push in the top lane as well, so things are going pretty well for us. Switch over to my other form, clear the minions quicker. Switch back for movement. Keep an eye on Slayer. Go back to the fight in the mid. Looks like Omen's there, Yena's there. I'm just trying to clear these minions. Omen is got caught out. Every time you switch forms, you do a big burst of damage too. And you see that red line? That is your increased damage counter. Every time you switch forms, you have that red line, that increased damage counter. You do a big burst, and then you do increased damage as you're working. So switching back and forth between your abilities, between your forms, is really key for Yena. Keeps that damage high. So I've decided to go. We got the dragon. We're doing okay. See, you hit that dual blade ability, the spinning dual blades, get it right into the cannoneers there and do as much damage as possible. Switch back and forth, just keep clearing, switching back and forth. The more you get, see, it's a 5-second cooldown on that ultimate ability. So you can switch back and forth pretty regularly. I'm thinking about a fight here, but Elsu has got quite a bit of damage output and Omen is pretty tanky. So I'm just checking the bush. I didn't feel like that was a good fight to take. Clearing the lanes, switching back, dashing over, getting the last minion here. Keeping these lanes pushing. I really want that tower down. My team, the junglers, leveling up. I throw that shuriken in and slow down the enemy minions so that mine can get into place. I did miss my S2 on that. Sometimes that happens to me. I get pushing buttons and moving the wrong direction. Yena is going to get taken out here with just switching forms. That's all it took. She was low enough. Kind of like a little execute when you switch those forms if they're low enough. So see, hitting that S2, dashing in, doing an auto attack in between. Keep pushing this lane. My team is doing a great job. Cannoneers are going to come right into it. I could have just tapped that. I didn't have to use my S1 ability to get that one down and take all that time. Alright, so we're going to push this lane. Ormar has quite a bit of stun. I didn't really feel like it was a smart move to engage with him, but I am going to hang out in this bush and keep these cannoneers down. Looks like I am sticking with my dual blade form. I should have switched forms and taken that quicker. But I'm going to recall half health. Engaging an Ormar at half health is not a good idea. He has too much CC, too much stun. So I'm in my fast dashing form. Just clearing minions. I should have switched. Could have taken them out faster, but I didn't. We've got a team fight breaking out around the red buff. I throw in, I try to get somebody. Let's see. I didn't get anybody. Did I get anybody? I don't think so, but I hurt them a lot. I got their health down enough that they were scared and ran. Now I'm going to clear that top lane. Looks like a net's going that way. I'm going to clear these lane minions and try to get this tower finally done. I switch. My abilities, that burst damage takes that out. I'm going to recall and get some full health, get ready for another team fight. My team and the junglers taking the DS. Ormar jumped in and stole it at the last second. That's pretty typical. There's always one, isn't there? It jumps in and steals it. And he did pay for it. But we're going to clear this pretty quick. Do you see how much damage my change in my form did between all 5 of us? That DS didn't have a chance of keeping around. Ormar's still down, 2 in the top. Just going to keep these lanes pushing. Take out these Slayer Vanguards as quickly as possible. Switch and keep them pushing. We got Raz, Yan, and Elsu. I can do a Elsu one-on-one. I can take him. But I figured it was probably not worth getting trapped because see, there's Ormar coming around. So I just go back down the lane, clear the sight bird there, or the extra for the extra XP. It's not the sight bird, I don't remember what he's called. Clear a Slayer Vanguard and just keep this pushing. My team's actually pretty far ahead by now, and they don't really need me in these engages, so I just kind of keep this lanes pushing. Now here, I made a huge mistake. I tried to flicker down. I saw everybody coming. I hit flicker and pulled it down. And then I guess when I pulled my thumb up, it hovered just long enough and I flickered up instead of down. So I was trying to flicker away from danger. I was going to switch to my speedy form and dash away. I'd have got away without any trouble. Instead, my fat finger flickered me into danger and got me killed. It looks like they're making a pretty good push now because of that. And that could have been avoided if I, that wasn't a issue because of Yena. That was an issue because of skill. I mean, that would have happened with any hero, even with some that I'm better with. I'm typically a tank or a support. That happened either way. So here's an interesting play. We don't have any debuffs. We're trying to get the DS, Infinite Slayer. And at the top, you'll see Yan coming in. She's going to try and steal it. I use my movement ability, get out and get back in and take her out. But Ormar and Raz are sneaking around the bottom trying to steal it. They weren't able to steal it. We got Yan, and Ormar was unable to get away. We were able to get Elsu. He also got Ignis before he died, but we did get Elsu. And Raz, I'm not gonna fight a Raz. There's too much CC. I didn't want to get accidentally involved with him. So I use my S1 ability, switch back to my speed ability, and just keep running. Just keep kind of circling around. I'm going to go back and get some health, but then I decide, that top lane's actually pushing pretty good. I'm just going to go throw my dual blades in there and see what happens. Annette goes in. And we got a little mini fight breaking out here. I'm a little tentative. I don't really want to get involved with this at the moment without the rest of my team. So we just kind of keep pestering. Ormar dives in. I switch my abilities. I flicker over, trying to get somebody. And I just wasn't able to get the range to get anybody taken out. But I was able to get one of them pretty low, and again, they run to get some health. Team goes down, or the tower goes down. Ormar's doing Ormar things. They dash out of my S1 or my S2 ability, and I just end up dying because I have my back to everybody. But that was a good engage for the team. The team was able to kind of finish getting a wipe, and you are lucky enough to finish the game with me being dead and watching these minions. We don't even get to watch the fight or anything like that. I have a real bad habit of watching the map in the top left corner and watching the little icons floating around, and I actually don't pan my camera. So you get the fortunate viewpoint of nothing. So, but that's my game. That is a week worth of practice in Yena. I really do feel like I was able to improve with her a little bit. As you can see, there was not spectacular. There wasn't any great number of kills or great number of damage or anything like that. Just kind of solid DS gameplay, DS lane play, 4-4-5. Nothing too crazy, but I was able to manage the lane and keep the lane pushing and make some plays for the team. So I hope this was enjoyable. This was entertaining. The plan is to get through the holidays, and I will on my January 2nd live stream, we will have another series. We'll start another hero and see if I can start from scratch on another hero and get any better in a week. As this series progresses, I really do feel like I'll learn more about the game overall and strategy and lane assignments and that sort of thing, and just generally get better. So this is a pretty good practice for that, but also for learning different heroes and what they do and how to counter them as I play. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really helps out the algorithm and my statistics as well. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to subscribe. If I can get to 250 subscribers, I'm going to host a 3v3 Valley Skirmish tournament. Teams can sign up and register, and we'll even have skins to win for the winning team. So tell everybody that you know to subscribe to the channel. We'll hit 250 and have a celebration for that. So thank you for watching. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the battlefield.